an 80s salesman.
Oh, holy
Was
moly,
that a Matthew
bro.
McConaughey thing?
Sure.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, this guy's selling penny stocks to old people.
yeah, it's pretty swank though, eh?
That's fire.
They didn't have a Bluetooth option at the dollar store, I see. Welcome, people, coast to coast. You know what time it is. It is Bush Banter. You got the Bushmen, fans of the Leafs of the IBL, coming to you hot. We've been off for a minute, but we've just been waiting because the boys have been coming in hot as we are. My name is G Hill. Welcome to the program. How you doing? I'll pass it over to my bro Elliot, the merch man. We got some new Bush Life swag. We'll get into it later, but El, why don't you give him a quick tease on this Bush Life gear we've been working on?
Oh, how does this tickle your fancy, huh?
Oh yeah, the trucker
Yeah,
Get it in
cap, Bush Life.
focus. Get it in focus.
it's a sexy piece of attire courtesy of my girlfriend Melissa. And while wearing it, I am here and I am so excited for the new Bush gear.
And with the headset, he's selling penny stocks. If you want it, just call in a 1-800 number. It might be completely false like Boiler Room, but he'll take care of you.
Ah,
You,
you
you might
know,
get a hat. You might get a
Yeah.
hat.
us over here at Stratton Oakmont, we're known for our strong deals and we're there for you.
Love it.
And yeah, and hookers
Love
and
it.
blow.
Love it. Love it. Well, we'll kick it over to Ray, aka Chad Kroger, the Nickelback super fan. How are you doing, buddy?
Oh, if today was your last day, I am doing really good, boys. Having a little happy dad right now, home alone for the week, lit by a lamp and ready to rock and roll with the fellas.
Ready to rock, ready to rock. I love it, boys. It's good to see you. It's been a minute. Well, I do see you a few times a week at the Leafs games and etc. But not to bury the lead, just a chat before we get into the banter. Ray, Nickelback. So we heard you were down in Ottawa with your brother. You sent some pictures. You guys had the mullet wigs out. You had the high denim shorts, the cutoff sleeves. How did that come together and how was it?
It's been a long, long journey to finally go and witness the majestic magic, which is Chad Kroger and his fellow bandmates. It was awesome. Ottawa Blues Fest. My brother lives in Ottawa. Finally popped up. We instantly bought tickets and had the best time with 30,000 fans. I don't care what anybody says. Everyone knows at least 15 Nickelback songs word for word, somehow through
This is
osmosis.
how you remind me.
It's not
It was
like
awesome.
you.
It was awesome. It was totally a jam. Couldn't be happier. They friggin' rocked. And
Nice.
yeah, yeah.
Well, correct me if I'm wrong, Ray. You said to me, because him and his brother legit did buy mullet wigs. They had mustaches and just the most ridiculous getup. Didn't you say it was just a ticket to free beer? Everyone was buying you pints at the show.
It was all access pass to free beer. We literally could have shown up with $0, and it just proves that a mullet is basically a VIP pass for a good time. So
Well, we already knew that. We already knew that. Elliot, how you doing? It's good to see you back doing the three bushes of the game. I was gonna say one thing. You always have said three bushes of the week, but it's always game specific. I never wanted to bring it up with you because you do it in one take
Yeah.
beautifully, but good to see you back on the camera. We haven't done many. We do the
No.
three bushes, the three stars of the game at home games. I think we've only rattled off like a few this year.
I think that was our last two home victories were our third and fourth.
We're up to six. We're up to six.
6 home victories?
Yes, but we've somehow only done three bushes of the game.
Yeah,
I don't know the math.
it's been a busy summer and it's been tough summer. But to the three bush of the week thing, that is originating from our very first one that we did. And we just called it three bush of the week and it just kind of stuck. I'm fully aware it's game specific, but like if we have a game on Sunday, then a game on Wednesday, it's a new week.
It's a new week. It's
It's
a
a
new
new
day.
week.
It's a new week. It's a new day. Yeah, so obviously baseball talk ahead, but we got the Olympics going on. I don't know, boys, have you tuned into any of the events? You know, what do you think of the games? Everyone, the funny thing about the Olympics before you go, Ray, is, you know, we all are sports fans, but you know, maybe not watching some of these events that go down. But by the end of like the events that you're watching, everyone is like becomes an expert at it. You know the terms now. You're watching them perform and you know you're judging it already. But yeah, what have you guys been watching? What have you been liking?
Let's see. I watched some swimming yesterday, and I caught a little bit of the skateboard finals, the street finals. Super cool.
Nice,
Dude,
nice.
you just also they have Snoop Dogg there commentating events. I mean,
Yeah.
come on, the Olympics are so urban now.
It's hilarious.
Yeah. Well, also not only that, they had Celine Dion open it up. I mean, she's a French Canadian singer. Get your own goddamn icon. Let's go.
I hear you. I hear you. Yeah, no, shout out, shout out. You're watching Swimming Ray. Obviously, shout out Summer McIntosh, the Canadian
The big
phenom,
gold, yeah, let's go.
17 years old and just dominating. Shout out the Canadian basketball team too, on men's and women's side, but the men's side, they look dangerous this year.
Oh
Yeah.
man,
I mean, this is probably the most talented NBA team, or sorry, NBA filled team that Canada's ever produced. I mean, the fact that we have a guy who's basically a league MVP running the show for us, and then he's just full of long, rangy, very solid defensive guards who can hit threes. I'm here for it, man. We're a problem for everybody. Knocking
We're a
down that
problem.
old man USA team. I can't wait for it.
Yes, yes, we're a problem. Well, the Leafs are a problem. You know, we got the MLB baseball trade deadline. I think it was today. The sell-off of the Jays has been rabid over the weekend, basically canning everyone. But the Leafs on the weekend are hot. We won three in a row, boys. We're up to seventh in the standings. Got our eyes on
Three
sixth.
straight wins in 3 days, and we had to drive to London, Brantford, and then back to Toronto for a 2 p.m. Sunday game in the pits. I don't know how the boys did it.
The boys have
it's
been
unbelievable.
battling. What do you guys think? Well, like, you know, we'll get into the game recaps here. I've jotted down some notes, but you know, your takes on the weekend. Obviously, some people were away. The boys were on the road Friday, Saturday, but you know, we were all tracking. Obviously, what were you guys' takes on the games?
This is it. This is the veteran Leaf team, Leaf game that we've been waiting for all year. The boys are coming up. They're battling. The pitching was dialed in. Sammy the Green Giant Greener
I like
locked it
that.
down right into the barking monster Castro on Sunday. I'm loving it. I'm loving that the boys are rolling. I'm loving that it's the right time. They just needed to get a little bit of dust under their fingernails before everything started rolling. And couldn't be
Exactly.
happier. Couldn't be happier with the weekend. The bats were on fire. The score was up there. We didn't have too many close games other than that extra inning battle in London, but hey, we came out on top. So let's go.
And definitely that London game that won extra innings in London. That when they hit that 2-run home run to tie it up, like the early part of this year, the Leafs probably aren't winning that game, but they immediately turned back around and said, "Nope, this one belongs to us." Gets that extra run. Valdez closes out the game, and it started our weekend off hot. Like the boys were
I know.
jacked up after
Hey,
that.
It
how
was
did we also just need to mention a couple of games before the 1917 absolute slugfest
that was
that
insane.
started everything? And you know what? I think that was it. That was kind of like the point where you're starting to see the hitting throughout the whole lineup. Everyone's getting a little couple pokes. We're finding the grass. Up until this point, it's been incredible the amount of times Christy Pitts were there watching. It's line drives to a guy. We're not finding the gaps. We're not finding the grass. Where every other team is getting those little squeakers through, and we were just waiting for it, and it's finally happening.
I will say this though, after that wild Kitchener game, I think it was the Sunday game after that. where we had that 3-hit, like
We got
1-run
pummeled.
performance against Chatham Kent.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
The
was
most depressing game I've ever
yeah,
been
yeah,
to.
yeah.
that took the
Oh, that
air out of
hurt.
the sails. But we'll
Oh,
focus on the positive, boys. So
yes.
going back to what Ray was talking about, Friday, July 26th, the Leafs go into London, then they pick up an 8-7 win in extra innings in the 11th inning. The boys were actually down 4-2 going into the 8th. They put up a 3 spot. In the 10th inning, both teams scored 2 runs. And then Chucky Towers comes up to the
One
plate,
at bat.
one
One at
at bat,
bat.
gets the
Let's go,
double.
Chucky T.
Yeah, he's really turning around, and it's been great to see. Chuck, if you are going back to school, maybe just skip the first month. It's all just a bunch of bullshit anyways. You're an athlete. You don't even need to
Ah,
take the test. Don't worry
Come on,
about it.
somebody will take notes for you.
yeah.
Exactly. So
You
that
did
was
you did
big.
Frosh Week already. You don't need to go back for a Frosh Week again.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
You're too old, Chuck. You can't be a senior mixing it up with the freshmen.
Another really interesting point there, though, that you did bring up, though, G. Like it's really cool that our roster isn't really built around too many young college kids, so we're not going to lose a lot of guys like in the next couple weeks as kids start going back to like university. So I'm thinking that we're sitting kind of nice for this playoff run.
Oh yeah, no one
Yeah.
wants to play us.
I'm curious what happens then with like Guelph and Chatham, because I think both of them are built around like young college aged players. They're
Yeah,
not heavy on the vets.
Yeah,
yeah.
Chatham's average age is like 14. Those guys are done. All right, so Saturday, July 27th. So the Leafs are in London. That game ended, I want to say, at midnight.
It
I
was
was
like
up at the cottage watching it. It probably ended at midnight. The boys probably get home at 3 in the morning. Then they got to drive out to Brantford the next day. And I think it was an afternoon start. Like I think it was
It
like
was a 2 o'clock
yeah.
start,
2
which is
o'clock
insane.
start. So, come back, rest up, get back on the road. And the Leafs pick up their second win in a row, 7-2 over Brantford. As Ray mentioned, Sam Green, the beast, comes in 8 innings pitched, only 1 earned run given up, 5 Ks. Lazo necked, Demara doubles. It wasn't the homer fest. And a ton of, like as Ray mentioned, a ton of offense spread out throughout the lineup. I think only a couple guys were held hitless, but it was just a great performance. What'd you guys think about that win? That was a great way to start the weekend.
Yeah, I mean, especially given Brantford, you have to either start the game at 2 o'clock or 8:15 because of the sun. I don't know where that field is situated, but the sun plays big problems with it. But it was just nice to see, like you were saying, it was up and down the lineup. Everyone was contributing. Everyone was making plays. Greener pitched a huge game. I mean, those are the kind of things that we haven't really like put together all year. Good spread out offense and good pitching. So it was real nice to see. Plus, when we knock around Jeremy Sucre, the Sugar Man,
Yeah,
you can't be upset about
so
that.
good, so good. My one gripe is I just wish they could cut a 3x3 square in that goddamn black metal fence that you got to watch the game through in Brantford. But we battle. We battle. The guys do a great job out there. It's just so hard to watch.
It is, but that was a big win. Like we said, the Leafs were sitting, this year. We've obviously added a ninth team to the league, the Chatham Barnstormers. So by rule, of the playoffs, not everyone makes the playoffs. The ninth place team is out, and the Leafs going into the weekend, and correct me if I'm wrong, I believe we were sitting ninth, pick up a big win in London. Brantford is just ahead of us in the standings, pick up a big win against them. And then, like we said, boys are out in Brantford, make it back home, get out to the pits for 2 p.m. on Sunday to play London Majors again, and the Leafs pull off a 7-2 victory. It was a testy game.
Huge.
Payano gets tossed in like the fifth inning, and we'll get into that in a bit. But shout out starting pitching, like we said, Angel Castro, the angry man. He was barking all game, puts up 7 innings pitched, 8 Ks. Elliot, we were off on our math. We
Yeah.
had him at like 15 when we were in the bush. 0 earned runs. just killing it. Brings in Valdez, Junior Valdez, 2 innings pitched, no earned runs. Castro was on the bench the whole time, hyping him up. And the boys just pick up a huge game. Friggin'
No, are
Jay
you?
Mara, Justin Mara, sorry, what was that? Justin Mara, shout out. Happy for you to get wed and welcome back
Oh yeah, let's
after
go.
that honeymoon.
Should have put a ring on it.
He goes 3 for 4 with a bomb. Castaldo gets a bomb, and like we said, Valley closed it down. So I know Ray, you couldn't make it down for it, but we know you were tracking. What'd you think of it, both of you guys, man? Like a hell of a way to
You
sweep a weekend.
I think we need to give a shout out, and Ray bore witness to this because we were at the game. The Castro yell counter that they had on the broadcast.
It made it up to 48 yells, and you know what? Thomas West and the crew, they do an absolute stellar job.
Yeah.
You know, and a new feature to the live stream this year is a pretty frequent pan up to see what the bush is doing. So just remember, boys, don't do anything inappropriate up there because the eyes are watching. So really cool to like not be there to, you know, see the win. Finally hear the guys just like really excited for a win. And that's what we needed, man. We haven't seen a lot of them this year. And for the last few years, you know, coming into Christie Pitts was pretty nerve-wracking for the other teams.
I think when in our preseason one, we talked about our home record over the last like 3 years, and it was like an 850 winning percentage.
Yeah.
And this year is like I don't think we're 500 yet, are we?
I think yeah, we're 12-21, so I don't think we're 500 in any realms, but we have 6 wins on the road and 6 wins at home. So on that note, you know, the boys are currently sitting 7th. We're 2 games back of Hamilton for 6th place, and there's a big game coming up on Wednesday, right? We got a Wednesday nighter at the Bush, full tilt. Send it, folks. We need everyone down there.
And I think this is the first game Hamilton's back here since we had that dust up where our boy Double J, Julian Johnson, got right into it with their team after the loss. Sweet Lou was hot under the collar. Bench is emptied. So there might be some fireworks, boys.
There might be. It's been fiery all year, man. I think the boys have just been sick and tired of the start. You know, it's hot down at the Bush. And in multiple games, there's been, you know, some fracas breaking out. Double J, you know, you came out of nowhere and just suckered that guy. I hope you had an issue with him and he wasn't just an innocent bystander, but you nailed him clean. But
Nobody said something to see Lou. I'd knock a guy out too.
Yes, absolutely. We got your back, Silu. We got your back. Well, maybe on that front, Silu, you know, the freshman, the Iceman, he's so frosty. We love him. You know, the Bushman, you know, we have a sick logo as Elliot's got on his hat, Bush Life. We represent it. And we've been putting together some swag this year. We got the bucket hat, Bush Life. We got the trucker hat. DM us. We're happy to, you know, send out some merch. Hit us up at the Bushman1. We're almost at 1,000 followers. So spread the word. Let's get it going. We love it. And a quick note here. I want to give a couple shout outs to some of the players. Shout out our boy Chiquetto, the Fridge, joins the Leafs, gets his first home run as a member of the Leafs. We love it. And shout out Chucky Towers, also, since we've done the last Bush Banter, first home run as a Leaf.
Yeah. Amazing.
And, you know, I think Vinny as well had his first home run this year. A couple games ago. It was nice to see him kind of get that swing
get off the schneid that he's been on. So that was really awesome to see. He had a big game. And you know what? Another thing that I wanted to say, like those back-to-back wins against London, I think made us take the season series against them. Oh. And that's another thing too that's super important for us coming down the stretch, right? We need to take these wins. I think we got it against Kitchener. We probably don't have it against Chatham-Kent because we've lost a couple. But, you know, I think we're really close with Hamilton, too. And coming down the stretch, those are going to be really, really important for us to get a couple wins against those teams, you know, tiebreakers.
Hamilton's got at least 1 win here. Chatham might have 3. I don't think we beat Chatham at home, have we?
No, I don't think so. They've definitely got 2 wins against us, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely two. Yeah, there's 9 games to go, right? We're 12 and 21. Um,
Oh, so that's perfect, man. Nine more wins in a row, 21 and 21, end the year 500. Everyone's
Yeah,
laughing.
let's go. It's a layup. It's
don't
a
even doubt
layup.
it for a second.
It's a layup.
Yeah, we
Um,
only have one more game against Welland, and that's the last game of the year.
Yeah.
So we can pretty much go 8 and 9. Let's go.
I love it. I love it. Well, shout out Welland. They put on a great all-star game this season. I think it was the first ever, well, outside of the COVID season where there wasn't a game. But the Homer competition, Slaz, unfortunately, he didn't win the title, but he's number one in our hearts. But a quick shout out to our boy Tack. We saw a video that he sent to Thomas West where it was him and Slazo, and he comes up to the camera and just goes, backs to tack. That was obviously in reference to their first Takamatsu's first game back in Toronto. The boys obviously were ready to chirp him. His first at bat, I think it was like the third or fourth pitch. He hit an absolute missile.
Oh, yeah.
And as he's rounding second, all the bush turns our back and just chanted backs to tack, backs to tack. So
Let's also not forget that Ryan Garten followed him with an even
Oh,
more monster of a
God.
shot.
And that was first pitch.
Gotcha,
Yeah.
Garten. And
Yeah.
he could have taken that home run derby for sure. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
my
Yeah.
God.
So
Shout out to Powerhouse.
yeah. Yeah.
Okay, but
Shout
I
out.
want to say this going forward to the IBL. If you want a home run competition that features multiple bombs, do it at Christie. We're the
Oh, true.
shortest park by a mile. The
True.
final will be like 35 home runs to like 32. Who doesn't
Dude,
want to see that?
but dude, it'll be like a cricket match. It'll have to be like a 2-day event. Like you have to do like a tea time in between.
No,
Guys are
not
hitting
a
like
tea time.
90,
Not a tea time, a pint time.
a
It's the
pint time,
IBL. You're
a
gonna be
pint
drinking
time.
pints in between.
A pint time, absolutely. But yeah, boys, great banter, of course. Like we said, follow the Bushmen. Come out to the field. Honestly, it's been great. We've been seeing a lot more people this year. People are engaged. You look around the hillside, there's like a lot more barking. People are just like
Yeah.
getting into it. And just the hyena pack is growing every day.
Great.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We
shout
love
out
it.
to ownership group too, man. The
Yeah.
big changes in the park, everything seems to be working out too pretty nicely, man. We've only had one hobo incident all year. I think that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And shout out to the Bush. You know, we are the landlords of the Bush up on the third side. There's been someone who has moved into the Bush. We respect them as a tenant. They always are timely on payments. They actually leave every Sunday and Wednesday, so they must have Wi-Fi in there and they check the game schedule. We love you. Shout out that way.
I really like what they've done with the place. They've turned it into like a 2 bedroom with like a nice foyer in the middle.
Yeah.
It's truly outstanding bushwork by them.
Yeah, yeah. It's great. It's great. That's where the after parties are. But yeah, no, we're always having a great time. Like we said, people come on out. This year we're doing a couple theme nights. We did an 80s theme night. Ray was the spearhead of that after his Nickelback experience. So we had the mullet wigs going. It was quite hot with those
Oh
wigs.
yeah.
Ray, what do you got as idea wise for like our next sort of theme night?
Oh man, we don't want to let the people know on the podcast.
Oh,
Man.
okay.
Keep them guessing.
Okay. Okay. As a hint, it has something to do with Victorian era and wearing lots of layers in a 35-degree bush. So like,
Leave it to the fashion guy.
yeah, yeah. Exactly. But boys, jacked up. Obviously, I'd say jacked up to see you, but I see you quite often. Any other notes just to tie this one off? Obviously, it's been great. You know, we would love to do more of these for you people. You know, we do get tied up, but we wanted to make sure to, get back on after the three game win streak. We're gonna make it 4 on Wednesday. But what do you guys got to say before we tie this one off?
Um,
I
oh yeah, go for it, El.
I was just gonna say, even though our preseason predictions for win totals are probably out the window for the team, I'm still convinced Necty's gonna get his 5 grand slams. games.
Yes.
The last 9
absolutely.
games, the boys are just going to get on base. Necky's just going to go off. I mean, he's right there. He hasn't really had his power he normally does, and I think he's right there. And at least that
And yo,
prediction will come.
Santos with the steal record.
How many steals he
I
have?
think he's up to like 12 or 14 or something.
Santos has been on fire this year. Consistent, solid, getting hits. But you know what? My little point that I wanted to say is I think up until last week, the entire league was just laughing, thinking like, oh man, the Leafs are going to get knocked out. Oh my God, we don't have to worry about the Leafs. Guess what?
Yeah.
We're right back into it.
Oh, yeah.
We're coming for everybody.
Yeah. Yeah.
You thought the Pits was crazy during regular season?
No.
Only a few teams have experienced the madness, which is playoff baseball in Christie Pitts. And I'm pretty sure we have a pretty good record in the first round. So let's go, boys. Couple more games to go. The momentum's turning. Everything's clicking. Go Leafs, go. No lead is safe. Bushman always reigns supreme.
I love it. I love it. Yeah, laugh now, cry later. Like soak it up, boys. Like you're like no one wants to face this buzzsaw right now. As Ray mentioned, the veterans are there. We're all getting settled in. And like we're angry, man. The hyena pack's there. Wednesday is gonna be a good one. We're gonna be fired up. Bring it all the way through the end of the season. And yeah, like we said, I hope you had your good laughs early because this team is coming in hot. And like we said, shout out Jay Mara. Congratulations on that wedding. The guy comes back, hits a bomb. He's ready to go. We're ready to go. Go Leafs, go.
Go
We
Leafs,
love it. Let's
Go
take it away.
Leafs, go boys. Cheers.
Peace.
Let's go.